We're back? Okay, we're back. Alright. Okay, heads up. Just so you guys know, the VOD is gonna take a lot longer to upload because I'm gonna have to splice the two videos together. Shit, but it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Alright, we're good. We're so back, baby. Speaking of babies, what's up with a pregnant belly? I've been seeing that. I've been seeing that in the comments. We're so back. We're so back, baby. Let's fucking go, man. Where the fuck were we? Where the fuck were we? Oh wait, more LOTM. Let me just title it so people can see. Fight time. Chapter 3. 46 plus. Alright, I'm just updating the description. Alright, we're good? We're good? We're ready. Damn, that was so fucking... The Magoo sphere of pregnancy? I'm a little scared, bro. Stay safe, y'all. You guys all stay safe. What the fuck am I saying? You guys all stay safe. There you go. First and foremost, be safe. Alright, after that crash, let's keep going. No problem. Klein smiled and nodded before asking, will my purification and exorcism affect your... Wait, I read this. After looking around, Sharon became talkative for once. Stay here and make your preparations. We'll go and lure the enemy over. It won't take more than 30 minutes. Please make use of the time. After you finish your preparations, hide in a warehouse. Don't be in a hurry to make your move. Make sure to be patient. No matter how dangerous the situation is, treat it as normal. When I become weak and the scarlet lunar corona appears, you can use that eye to search for Steve and launch a sudden attack on him. I will use all of my mystical items to complement you. Klein listened attentively, chuckled, and said, a very simple plan. The simpler the plan, the more effective it is. Sharon calmly responded. Merrick pinched his forehead, shook his head, and said, Steve isn't a fool. If any problems arrive in a complicated plan, it will lead to a complete disaster. After they finished their exchange, Sharon vanished and Merrick quickly departed for the dock. After watching them leave, Klein took out a small, square metal box from his pocket. Its surface was covered with a thin film of spirituality. This was the spirituality cage that has been modified from a wall of spirituality. It could, to some extent, isolate the outside world from the effects of a certain mystical item, but it couldn't abate the negative effects they had on the possessor. Of course, sealed artifacts which were too powerful or too strange were definitely not something that a spirituality cage could deal with. They required a special sealing environment that was specifically designed for it, like the Chanis Gate. Ah, I see it. 4 warehouses overgrown with weeds. The ground is muddy from the rain earlier. Klein took out a piece of paper and shook it. Pa. The paper quickly became taut as hard as an iron plate. Klein held the note and dug a shallow hole in the middle. Oh, I realized. Let me hold up. I need to update chat. Hey, you know what? I'm low-key proud that my articulation is good now, but it ain't the best. It's better compared to our first ever reaction. Hold up, I'm refreshing chat, but is not the best, but it has improved. Why is chat not working? Why are we running into so many problems? What's up with all these? I'm going to kill my effing internet. Are you okay, Zen? Yo, am I late? Unhinged? No, you're good. No, you're good. You're good. You're good. I swear I've read this down 4 times, and only the 3rd time did I realize that China's... Oh, wait, I shouldn't read more. We're talking about China's Gate, and I just mentioned China's Gate. I'll be quiet. Oh, I didn't finish reading that. Alright, I'm not gonna finish reading that. They don't want us to witness speak. I know, they don't want you guys to witness speak. Alright, let's keep going. Let's reread from here. Of course, sealed artifacts, which were too powerful or too strange, were definitely not something that a spirituality cage could deal with. They required a special sealing environment that was specifically designed for it. I'm thinking that's what the China's Gate is, bro. For warehouses the China's Gate was specifically designed for these sealed artifacts. I remember, like, the doll that walked out, that gave the true creator symbol. I forgot what it was, like a cloak or something with it drawn on it. 4 warehouses overgrown with weeds. The ground is muddied from the rain earlier. Klein took out a piece of paper and shook it. Pa. The paper quickly became taut as hard as an iron plate. Klein held the note and dug a shallow hole in the middle of the open ground. He buried the small square iron box in his hand. There was only a thin layer of soil between it and the outside world. Next, he took out the explosives from the wooden box and buried them in different corners and in different warehouses. He buried the remaining explosive sticks near the center. After finishing all this, he took out his revolver and adjusted the ratio of the bullets again. 3 purifying bullets and 2 exorcism bullets. That sounds hype. Putting away the revolver in his underarm holster, Klein tidied his clothes, walking to a gap between two warehouses, and threw a paper figurine there right above some buried explosives. Klein examined his surroundings again and took out another square metal box. He removed the spirituality cage on its surface and took out the dark golden sunburned shaped brooch solemnly, wearing it on his left chest. Klein let out a breath, left the place, circled the exterior, threw out some inconspicuous items, and buried away and used the pieces of paper. When he returned, he climbed to the top of one of the warehouses and hid in the shadows. Reaching out his hand, he counted and confirmed the various charms, extracts, and herbal powders. He touched the iron cigarette case and snapped his fingers. Ooh, I'm excited. The taper figures, the chapter's gonna end and it's gonna be with them coming, right? Like, they're gonna be coming to the warehouses. The paper figurine had left between the two warehouses and stood up and transformed into a gentleman wearing a black double-breasted frock coat, a silk half-top hat, and was holding a hard cane. The gentleman's position was rather remote and hidden, making it difficult for anyone who came in from the outside to notice him. With his stand-in present, Klein's figure disappeared from where he stood. However, his vision wasn't affected in any way, and he could clearly see the road that led to the clearing. Even though he had made preparations and had experienced many battles, Klein was still a bit afraid and nervous at this very moment. No matter how good a performance was, it could still be seen through. Furthermore, the enemies was a Sequence 5 wielding a mystical item. There was also a Sequence 6 and 7. Come on, bro. He's got this. He's got this one in the bag. In this state, every magician is in before he goes. Wait, in this, the state every magician is this. I'm reading this wrong. Is this the state every magician is in before he goes on stage? Klein took a silent breath, suppressing his emotions and the heat of his body. That night, the crimson moon was constantly obscured by the clouds, and there was only a glimmer of light in the clearing. Before long, Klein saw three figures rapidly approaching. Let's go, dude. One in front, one in the middle, one in the back. Let's go, dude. Rip, are we lagging? The stuttering arc has returned, bro. Let's go, bro. Hold up. Let's go. Chapter 347 is called Zombie and Werewolf. So it's Merrick versus a zombie and a werewolf. And then Sharon and the Sequence 5 guy is in hiding. Right? Okay, this is hype. Alright, this is hype. This is hype. Alright, update. We're updating everything. Update chapter. Updating. We're updating everything. Update. Zombie and werewolf. Ooh, it's gonna be a fucking good chapter. It's gonna be a fucking good chapter. Oh, wait. Oh, my timestamps are fucked up. Right? I gotta remember. Plus 5 minutes. Plus 5 minutes from 26 minutes. So 30 minutes. Yeah, my timestamps are kind of fucked. But this will have to do. 30. Well, it's okay if they're pretty fucked up, because I can just go back and see when I update the chapter. So we have to make sure we really update our chapter, since our VOD is kind of already screwed since the stream crashed, but it's okay. Someone got mad? Well, update. Everything easy on it. Let's keep going, dude. Let's fucking keep going. All right, we're good. We're good. We're ready. Updated. Updated here. Updated here. All right. Wait, let me put you guys down here so I can see you. And if anything important or anything crashed, just at me. It makes it a little bit easier for me to see when you guys at me, because I can see my name highlighted orange. All right, let's keep going. Chapter 347 is called Zombie and Werewolf. Running ahead of the group was Merrick. His disheveled hair was completely blown back by the wind, and his expression was twisted and hideous. He was even faster than a steam locomotive and its peak speed. With a whoosh, he arrived at the entrance in the clearing, but even so, he was still unable to escape from his pursuers. The closest figure to him was a man who had the same pale complexion as himself, with indistinct dark patches on his face. As if they were healing marks from rotting wounds, the malice in his eyes was completely undisguised and unrestrained. He looked more like a zombie who was craving fresh flesh rather than a human being, and Klein guessed that he was Jason, a Sequence 6. Ooh, this is hype. The distance between Jason and Merrick remained within 7 or 8 meters. 24 feet? Sometimes lengthening, sometimes shortening. This repeated again and again and ventured back and forth. More than 10 meters behind him, 30 feet, a figure was left far behind. It was a thin but muscular man. His hair was shaved very short, and his hair stood erect like spikes. As he swung his arms, the tip of his palms flashed with metallic light, reflecting the weak crimson moonlight. There were black fingernails which were long as daggers. Werewolf tear. Klein chanted the person sequence and names silently. In his mind, the wall that was splashed with blood appeared in his mind and was a scene with intestines and limbs splattering all over the ground. Tap, tap, tap. Merrick used all his strength as he ran, while Jason gritted his teeth and ran as fast as he could. At some point, the healed dark spots on his face began to swell as if some sort of rotten liquid was about to ooze out. What? I'm gonna need art. I'm gonna need artwork on this. The two of them left the puddles of water and moist soil that were turning into white frost in their wake. The withered weeds were lifted up by the wind created by the two of them. As they slowly fell down, they began to rot and decay at a speed visible to the naked eye. Suddenly, a pale hand reached out of the frosted soil and accurately grabbed Jason's ankle. Pa! Jason twisted his body and forcefully kicked out, breaking the hand's wrist and sending it flying. The remaining stumps of flesh and blood had long since rotten, and the white maggots struggling to squirm outwards. Merrick stopped, pinched his lips with his right hand and let out a shrill whistle. Bang, bang, bang. The soul in different parts of the clearing were lifted and the expressionless corpses sat up. At the same time, a chilly wind suddenly swirled. Countless transparent shadows seemed to have caught the scent of a bloody feast, and none of them wanted to fall behind as they rushed towards Jason. Some pulled his arms, some pulled his calves, and some even hugged his head. Jason stopped and grunted. The shadows flew out, and one after another, some of them screamed miserably and disappeared, while others stayed in their original spots. Lost. At almost the same time, Merrick and Jason both raised their right hands, thumbs held up beside their forefingers with the index fingers aiming at each other. Slightly, the air between them exploded as black wisps of air billowed upwards. Merrick took a step back, and a few strands of his disheveled hair withered in a blink of an eye and fluttered to the ground. Merrick, you're still so weak, you still don't understand how to use the power of desire, Jason said with a low, hoarse laugh. At this moment, Werewolf Tyr had already arrived at his side. As for Steve, the Sequence 5 Beyonder in charge of the operation was nowhere to be found. Don't be in such a hurry to finish off Merrick. Wait for Sharon to come and save him. Lord Steve is about to arrive. Lord Steve? Wait for Sharon to come and save him. Lord Steve is about to arrive. Werewolf Tyr whispered to Jason. He then extended his bright red tongue and licked his lips. I wonder what Sharon will look like when she has her clothes off. What? Before he could finish his sentence, he suddenly saw Jason turn his head. His face was deathly pale, and there were two identical figures in his eyes. Black regal dress, light blonde hair, exquisite face, and pale skin. Pa. He stuck out with both palms and gripped Werewolf Tyr's near neck. The creaking sounds of bones giving way sounded off. Rafe Sharon had attacked. And gripped. She bit? What? Wait, hold up. I'm getting a little lost in fight. No, I'm taking it back. Tyr inhaled sharply, making his neck bulging like a water pipe. Tyr inhaled sharply, making his neck bulge like a water pipe. It grew strands of strings, black hair, and briefly resisted the force that would snap his windpipe and neck. His eyes gradually rolled back, showing its whites as his red tongue hung out and sticky saliva drooled down his lips. However, his right hand had accurately reached into his pocket. He had cracked a present spirituality seal. The empty clearing, together with the warehouses, suddenly lit up. A crimson moonlight filled the entire area. Jason's grip on Werewolf Tyr's neck began to weaken, and a figure in a small, soft hat appeared behind him. Wait. I'm getting lost. Hold up. Wait. Explain it to me. Wait. Explain. Why is Jason biting Tyr? Aren't they allies? This is the only thing that's body possession Lord Steve is mining? Hold up. This is kind of confusing me. Yeah, they want Sharon in the way she don't. Sharon. Oh, okay. I missed that part. They mentioned Sharon and then it switched to he, and I'm like, wait. Sharon is possessing Jason's body. Oh, a Wraith possession. Oh, that makes more sense. Oh, I'm so dumb. I got a little too hyped and excited. I completely missed that. I would be so lost if it wasn't for you guys. Thank you. Jason gripped on Werewolf Tyr's neck, began to weaken, and a figure in a small, soft hat appeared behind him. Okay, I would have caught it off right here. Tyr's face broke into a smile that was both smug and cruel. His right hand took out a miniature full moon from his pocket, a crimson full moon. It was a dark red accessory that constantly emitted a serene luster. Shaped like a full moon, it had crimson rubies embedded along its circumference. In the middle was a symbol that symbolized the moon, as well as many other mysterious labels. Sharon narrowed her eyes indistinctively and retreated 2 steps back. Her incorporeality slowly receded. Her legs no longer seemed capable of supporting her weight. She fell limply to the ground, her black and complicated regal dress stained with dust and mud. Werewolf Tear raised the palm-sized round accessory high up in the air, laughed as he gasped for breath. Lord Steve was right. You would definitely attempt to counterattack. And Sharon, your target for possession would definitely be Jason, whose sequence is higher than mine. Therefore, the Scarlet Lunar Corona was given to me. It seems like I can only choose... No way. Stream crashed again. No way. No fucking way. No way. Are we back? Rip stream again? Yeah, okay. We're gonna keep reading. Stream is gonna crash again in a few seconds, just like the last one. Stream is gonna end. I'll pay attention. When stream crashes, we're gonna restart stream, but we're back. And no, the stream is gonna randomly cut. It cut last time. OBS is gonna crash. I'm gonna have to close it and redo it. But second that happens, we're gonna go live right away. Just heads up, heads up. Stream will definitely crash like the last one, but it's okay. I told you. The one time we got fucking bad luck. Fucking perfect timing. Holy fucking shit. All right, let's keep reading until it crashes and then we restart it. My bad, guys. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Lord Steve was right. You would definitely attempt to counter attack, and Sharon, your target for possession, would definitely be Sharon, whose sequence is higher than mine. Therefore, the Scarlet Lunar Corona was given to me. Guess where is he now? This isn't as Sharon had expected. It seems like I can only choose the best opportunity to strike myself. Hold up, let me make this bigger so I can completely see YouTube when it crashes. I need to make sure I completely see it when it crashes. This isn't as Sharon had expected. It seems like I can only choose the best opportunity to strike myself. Klein frowned as he had heard this, and he forcefully suppressed the anxiety in his heart. At this point, Werewolf Tear was in no hurry to attack. He knew that the longer the effects of the Scarlet Lunar Corona lasted, the weaker Sharon would become, and the more Merrick would be in pain. In Jason's cold eyes, which usually had a hint of savagery and madness, there was no longer any rationality in them left. He was also affected by the Scarlet Lunar Corona, but he was used to indulging in his desires, so he didn't feel any pain. Instead, he felt a thirst for the fresh flesh before his eyes. Gasp. Jason let out a low, inhuman growl from his throat. He exposed skins and hair turned white. At that moment, Sharon raised her arms and with difficulty and used her left hand to remove the black glove that she wore on her right palm. Oh. Jason happened to lunge at her, and a thin layer of ice covered the soul around her. Suddenly, endless rays of light burst forth from Sharon's palm. As they fed on Sharon's spirituality, they interweaved in front of the doll-like lady to form a bronze door, which was covered with mysterious patterns and filled with an indescribable smell. The door swung open with a creak and crack appeared. From the crack, pairs of pale and transparent hands and arms covered its teeth, or bloody skin arms stretched out, crossed the void, and grabbed zombie Jason. Indescribable pairs of eyes were hidden in the darkness behind the door, quietly watching the prey in front of them. Before he could even react, Jason grabbed by the arms and he was entangled by the smooth and corporeal tentacles. These tentacles? Bro, what's up with tentacles, man? Before he could even react, Jason was grabbed by the arms and he was entangled by smooth and incorporeal tentacles. These tentacles were dark green vines that had countless baby faces protruding out. That's so gross, dude. These strange entities were crying and laughing as they tried to drag zombie Jason behind the door. What the fuck is going on? Even though his thoughts were completely controlled by the bloodlust and the urge to kill, Jason instinctively felt afraid. Gasp. The sound from his throat suddenly intensified, and the layers of frost immediately appeared on the worrisome-looking arm. The dark green vines that protruded from the baby's face emitted painful groans as they constantly dripped with decay. Turbid yellow liquid. They pulled, force abated, but it did not disappear. Jason kept directing ghosts to interfere, but it was like throwing a stone into the sea. Even when he tried to use spells from Death Domain, they failed to deliver any striking results. His body began moving uncontrollably towards the crack of the illusionary mysterious door. Occasionally, he would manage to struggle and retreat a little. As he had taken a sedative in advance, Merrick was not completely taken down by the pain. Klein came in clutch. Taking advantage of this, he took out his last 2 sedatives, broke the bottle with a snap, and drank 1.5 glasses in one go. The stream crash? No, it's reconnecting on Twitch. The suppressed malice in his eyes weakened, and his twisted expression returned to normal. He swept his gaze at Werewolf Tier. Some people are in tech. That is true. At the same time, with a swoosh, Tier's thin but muscular body disappeared and reappeared more than 10 meters away. As his figure began outlining itself, an illusory image was left behind. A black aura that seemed to be alive rose up from the ground, piercing through the remnant images and disappeared with a flicker. Tier hadn't used a blink, as his sequence didn't have the corresponding beyonder powers to do so. He had relied on the Scarlet Lunar Corona to push him to the maximum speed. The speed at which he moved had produced after images. At that moment, Klein, who was hiding in the shadows at the top of the warehouse, also reached into his pocket with his left hand touching the iron cigarette case. He removed the surface spirituality cage and gently opened the cases. He was sure that the Rafe Steve had already arrived at the scene. Otherwise, Jason definitely would have dragged behind the terrible door if the deadlock continued. As for Rafe Tier, despite being augmented by the Scarlet Lunar Corona, he was unable to instantly finish Merrick off. When Sharon aimed the door of mysteries at the werewolf, the Scarlet Lunar Corona would end up changing owners. As soon as Klein's fingers touched the all-black eye inside the metal cigarette case, his mind filled with crazy, foul, and terrifying ravings. These were terrifying ravings that made his blood vessels bulge. He felt as though his eyes were cracking and his head could explode at any moment. And in the midst of these ravings, Klein saw strange, mysterious, and illusory black threads. They were divided into groups. Some of them extended to Sharon's body, some of them from Werewolf Tier. They intertwined with each other, and without entangling themselves, that they extended into the void. Among them, many of the black lines came from a spot not far away from Merrick, and they didn't overlap. Rafe Steve. He wanted to possess Merrick. With a thought, Klein retracted his left hand. Instead of drawing his gun to shoot, he snapped his fingers without making much of a sound. Boom! And oh, look at him making his grand entrance, dude. Hold up. We gotta put the music higher, bro. He's making his grand entrance. Boom. An explosion suddenly occurred between the 2 warehouses. The raging flames and heat caused a figure wearing a black double-breasted frock coat to float out. After catching the attention of the others, Klein quickly drew his gun and pulled the trigger at the spot he remembered. At the same time, the dark golden sunbird brooch on his chest flashed with a ray of light. He added the cleave of purification to the purifying bullets. Bang! Yo! The magician has arrived, dude. He is farming aura right here. The bullet shot out with a faint golden beam of light. My man has a ray gun now. 30 people? Yo, let's go, dude. Look at this dude making his grand entrance. Let's freaking update and keep fucking reading, dude. Holy fucking shit. Update. I didn't stop the recording, so from 26 minutes, son of a bitch. Hold up. I can't do fucking math. I'm getting excited. Hold up. Calculator. 26. Duh, 44 minutes. I'm stupid. 44 minutes. Alright, I'm just doing this. I'm just rounding out the minutes, and then I'll go back later in the VOD and update it myself. It might not be perfect, but I'll do. Alright, let's fucking go, man. This guy's farming aura right now like his life depends on it. Alright, next chapter. If the music is too loud or too low, let me know. Chapter 348 is called Terrifying Rafe. It's updated, right? Yeah. A faint golden stream of light flashed past, hitting what seemed to be like an empty space. However, resplendent flames suddenly rose up from the spot, rapidly forming a silhouette who was wearing a black tuxedo and a dark red cloak. The figure's left arm was burning with a holy and pure flames as it continuously emitted faint black and green smoke, illuminating his pale face in a dark green glow. It was a man in his 40s with oily hair that was neatly combed with meticulous attention. His eyes were dark and green, and while possessing no emotion, there were signs of pain. Rafe Steve. Ah, look at that. I thought the title was referring Sharon, but it's referring Steve. He turned his head and looked maliciously at Klein, who was at the top of the warehouse. Klein was startled as he felt his body suddenly turn cold. Even the heat brought by the sun brooch couldn't counteract it. His body stiffened quickly as his eyes glazed over. His pupils reflected the same two figures, a black tuxedo, a red cloak, a head of hair slathered with oil, a pair of dark green eyes, and a pale face of a man in his 40s. Almost in an instant, Klein was placed under Steve's control, his thoughts gradually numbing. This was the ability of a Sequence 5 Wraith. It was a strange and hardly defensible ability. Fortunately, he was adequately aware of everything beforehand and was already prepared for it. Moreover, the exorcism effect could effectively resist the possession of evil spirit beings. So before his ability to think had completely disappeared, he stimulated the spiritual life of his body and injected it into the dark golden sunburn brooch. Farming aura. Just as he was about to raise his hand to grab hold of his neck, a warm and pure ray of light suddenly descended from the sky. It was like a pillar of light from the sun, bringing with it a feeling of brilliance and holy purification as it enveloped Klein within. It is a spell from the sun domain, the holy light summoning. Amidst the holy light, the formless possession ability was weakened, and Klein's eyes suddenly regained their luster. In close succession, his body ignited, becoming brittle and charred, leaving behind a thin piece of paper. At the same time, between the gaps of the two warehouses, Klein and his double-breasted flock coat and matching silk top hat jumped out of the roaring flames from the... Look at him just jumping out of the flames like that. Jumped out of the roaring flames from the previous explosion. His cane had been thrown away somewhere long ago, and the same figure floating above his head had also been successfully destroyed by the flames. It turned into pieces of ashes and scattered into every direction. Before Klein could confirm his situation, he felt an invisible grip on his ankle. There was a firm grip on his calves, arms, chest, and clothes. In his spirit vision, which had long been activated, Klein saw blurry, transparent figures. Some of them were incomplete, some of them were covered in blood, some of them had burnt black skin, and others were pale and cold. Phew. A cold wind of unknown origins blew at his neck, making his hair stand on end and made his body tremble uncontrollably. The dark golden sunburn brooch in front of him suddenly flashed with a brilliant light, and golden illusory flames started flaring up around him one after another. These flames emitted the aura of the sun, and they were so dense they formed a... Wait, what? These flames emitted the aura of the sun, and because they were so dense they formed a sea. This was the fire of light from the sun domain. The ghastly ghost around Klein shrieked silently and vanished. The cold wind at the back of his head was replaced by the scorching heat of the sun brooch. Klein, who was temporarily safe in his environment, couldn't help but sigh in the fear. Even though he had prepared ahead of time and had obtained items to counter his opponent, a one-on-one battle with a Sequence 5 Wraith was still precarious. The performance had almost ended in failure from the very beginning, and it ended. Not too far away from Merrick, the dark red-cloaked Steve's figure turned slightly incorporeal. The bright flames on his left arm were quickly extinguished under the onslaught of the black aura. His eyes shone with the dark green light filled with malice and desires. He seemed to have lost his mind and ability to think. At this moment, with the shot's warning, Merrick had distanced himself and directed the numb-faced zombies who had crawled out of the earth to surround the world of Tyr. He created slippery layers of ice and rotting sludge into the attempt to affect his enemy's movements. World of Tyr held onto the tiny full moon that was emitting crimson lights as he ran without stopping. When he was blocked by a zombie, he casually swiped down. Whoosh. The zombie was immediately split into 6 pieces, the long, rotten flesh and wriggling maggots sprinkled all over the ground. World of Tyr froze for a moment, looking at his claws in disbelief. Only then did he understand the augmentation that the Scarlet Lunar Corona brought him wasn't only restricted to speed. He felt that he had mastered some powerful and strange spell. Tyr stopped running and turned to face the pale Merrick. At this moment, zombie Jason was drawing closer to the illusory but mysterious door. His body was covered with dark green vines that had protruded from the faces of the babies. He was being dragged by arms that was either full of teeth or were skinless. Oh, that is gross. His eyes were almost touching the crack of the bronze door as he started coldly, and the indescribable eyes hitting in the darkness. Sorry, I butchered that. It was as if the place was the final resting place from his heart. No. His body, which was controlled by the bloodlust and desires to kill, shouted out shrilly. World of Tyr, who was about to counterattack, stopped instantaneously. Clenching his teeth, he threw the miniature version of the Crimson Full Moon at Steve. Only by allowing a Sequence 5 Beyonder to regain his strength would he be augmented, allowing the battle to come to a quick end. Only then would Jason have a chance of being rescued. Upon seeing this, Klein's eyes lit up and he immediately snapped his fingers. Boom. and the Scarlet's lunar corona trajectory, a pre-buried explosive threw up the soul, blew out a strong impact gust of wind, and set off a scarlet flame. Being struck by this, the Scarlet lunar corona was redirected and landed in another direction. Boom. Another explosion blew up. Oh, wait, no, he didn't snap his fingers. Was redirected and landed in another direction. Boom. Another explosion blew up, inducing a fiery light to rise up. Klein leaped up and pounced at the Scarlet lunar corona, which wasn't too far from him. Is he gonna steal it? Suddenly, a pale palm appeared. Sharon? Suddenly, a pale palm appeared right in front of the Scarlet lunar corona's landing spot and grabbed it. It was none other than Steve, who had disappeared and then reappeared. His instincts made him chase after the full moon. Pa! With a soft sound, Steve grabbed the Scarlet lunar corona. His dark green eyes, which are full of malice and desires, gained a trace of spiritual luster. This caused him to return from the form of a pure rave to a Sequence 5 powerhouse. He smirked at Klein. He wasn't in a hurry to deal with this weak opponent, so he felt his figure disappear once more. Klein, who had already thrown himself out, rolled twice, reached into his pocket with his left hand, and once again gently flipped open the iron cigarette case. Oh, he took it out. He touched Rosalgo's all-black eye. Amidst the ravings that caused his tears and snot to constantly flow, Klein saw more strange black lines. And from their origin, he caught a glimpse of the invisible Steve. He was closing in on Sharon, who was slumped to the ground weakly. At high speeds, he wanted to control her, rescue Jason, and put an end to the battle. Sharon was their main target for this operation. Klein suddenly retracted his left hand, and with a thought, he once again injected his spirituality into the Sunbronze. 2, 1. A holy beam of light descended from the sky, enveloping Sharon from behind. Oh! Enveloping Sharon from behind. Steve, who was wearing a dark red coat, suddenly appeared a few meters away, barely avoiding the holy light. What is going on? With the augmentation of the Scarlet lunar corona, his speed was already frightening to the point of him being capable of effectively dodging in an instant. But at the same time, the something Klein had raised his right hand and pulled the trigger and revolver. His target was Jason. A resplendent bullet flew out, aimed directly at Jason's back, and was about to help him enter the bronze door mysteriously. But at this moment, Steve disappeared and reappeared behind Jason, blocking the bullet with his open left palm. Sizzle. The sunlight from his explosion made him shake his arm in pain. He narrowed his eyes as his skin was constantly charred and peeling, but it quickly healed. Suddenly, he heard a crisp sound. Klein had snapped his fingers again. Boom. A nearby explosion exploded. The resulting shock wave and bullet-like stones shout out in all directions. A large number of them landed on Jason and Steve's bodies. No. With a blood-curdled screaming, the clothes on Jason's... Oh, I read that wrong. With a blood-curdling scream, the clothes on Jason's side tore apart, and the quickly darkened white spots on his skin appeared as if fresh blood was about to seep out. To a zombie with a body as hard as steel, this wasn't an effective injury, but to a person like Jason, who was struggling to hold on, it was equivalent to the beckoning of death. He could no longer hold on as those terrifying arms quickly pulled him into the crack of the bronze door. No. Jason's scream resounded into the distance as the mysterious and illusion door closed with a clang, devouring the rest of his screams and isolating it from the world. Shut up. This is so cool, dude. The clearing in the middle of the warehouse turned completely silent. Jason had completely disappeared, as if though he had never been born into this world. He's like, damn, dude. Steve's eyes widened as he opened his mouth, letting out an angry screech. Damn it. Bam. As his sound resounded, Klein felt as if something had heavily hammered him into the head. His vision turned... Oh, he got hit. His vision turned blurry, and whatever he breathed in smelled of blood. His vision had become blood red. Oh, he got hit. For a short time, his ears were filled with buzzing sounds, and he couldn't hear anything else. After Tyr delivered the Scarlet lunar corona, he had grown black fur and sharp fangs. He was no longer immune to the effects of the painfully covered his ears. Blood even flowed out from the corners of his eyes and mouth. Merrick, who should have seized the opportunity to grab him, was in an even worse state. His desire and malice, which had been suppressed by the sedative, had reared their heads once more, causing him to almost lose control of his zombie. Oh, I thought he lost control. Almost lose control of his zombies. His expression was extremely twisted. Is he... Oh, I'm getting scared. Hold up. I'm getting scared. Hold up. I don't want to lose Merrick. He's starting to fucking grow on me. He's starting to grow on me, dude. 26. 26. plus 55 minutes. Close enough. Hold up. Shit, man, my fucking timestamps are so scuffed right now. This is getting good. I'm liking this. Update chapter? Yeah, we're update. Merrick, my boy. I'm praying for him. I'm praying for him. Shit, man, and it is getting kind of late, but we're gonna keep reading. We're gonna keep reading. It's kind of late, but we're gonna keep reading. Shit, I shouldn't have started late, man. I shouldn't have started late on the fight. Okay, here, let's go, man. Let's keep going. Translator. Wait. Are we getting translator notes? Chapter 349 is called Poison Bottle. Translator, Atlas Studios editor. Due to a rape... Wait. I fixed your timestamps for him? Thank you, dude. Due to a rape, Steve... Wait, I don't think I even updated this part. Let's... Hold up. I don't actually update this part. Okay, now it's updated. Due to Rafe Steve's shriek, the weakness Miss Sharon also revealed a painful expression. However, she still managed to close her palm with much difficulty, causing the rays of light to be severed, which caused the illusionary mysterious bronze door to disappear. Klein knew that the situation was turning bad, and during his headache, he quickly took a step back and entered the fire. His figure quickly disappeared and reappeared in another explosion that happened in a different direction. He just jumped out in an attempt to strike back when he saw Steve, the middle-aged man with a dark red cloak, stop in his tracks instead of chasing after him as though he was waiting for something. Klein suddenly felt agitated, his head felt dizzy, and his stomach spasmed. He quickly weakened, but he had no idea why. Merrick, who had just recovered from his sharp shriek, also had an abnormal reaction. He constantly stretched out his hands to grab himself as if his body suffered an uncontrollable itch. He gasped for breath as he used his long, sharp nails to rip apart his clothes and left white streaks across his body. The more he scratched, the deeper it became, causing its redness to seep out. Sharon fell to the ground, but she couldn't stand again. Her blue eyes lost their focus as though she couldn't see anything. Poison. She whispered the word. Not far from her, Steve looked at her tightly clenching fist. He seemed rather fearful of the bronze door that was covered with mysterious patterns and the indescribable smell. He didn't dare to recklessly make a move. In his right hand, he held the scarlet lunar corona, the crimson full moon that was releasing a cold glow. Using his left hand, he took out a brown, translucent glass bottle from his pocket as he snorted. Biological poison can be used to randomly create different kinds of toxins. As long as you open it, the poisons will gradually spread its surroundings. It will be effective in less than a minute, and the symptoms will only become worse in 4 minutes if you don't leave the poison-filled environment. Then the corresponding effects will be unpreventable, such as death. What a pity. I thought Jason will be able to hold on to this moment. Sharon, you wouldn't have been affected since a spirit body isn't afraid of poison, but unfortunately, there's that scarlet lunar corona here, which prevents you from switching states. Perhaps you can give up resisting and let me understand your hidden charms. He appeared to leisurely introduce the abilities of the mystical items in his hand, as though he wanted to wait for Klein and company to completely lose their ability to resist before attacking. However, Tyr didn't understand his intention. Under the influence of the scarlet lunar corona, the irrational werewolf started his counterattack without hesitation. He threw himself forward, flailed his claws, and swiped across Merrick's body, tearing it apart. He got him? Oh, man. Wait. Did we lag? Finish the fight at least? I know, it's getting kind of late. I'm hoping the fight ends soon, but we're going to keep going until, like, I have to end. But we're good right now. We're still good. We're still good at least for a little bit more. Whoo! This is getting a little scary. He's actually attacking him. He's actually hitting him, man. This is scary. Clang, clang, clang. The sound of nails tearing through steel sounded in succession, and Merrick's skin finally showed signs of bloody wounds. I know he had a strong body, but he's getting hit, right? Klein pinched his forehead. It felt like his forehead was starting to heat up, but the negative effects weren't as bad as what Steve mentioned. It seemed like the poison has been weakened by the sun-broached constant purification and the purging effects. Klein suddenly sneered. Are you planning on attacking us after we succumb to the poison? Why do you think I don't use fireworks? Why do you think I didn't use fireworks just now? Why do you think I relied on explosive? With so many explosions, I've definitely attracted the attention of others. The official Beyonders nearby are rushing here at this very moment. You don't have much time left. Steve turned. That is smart. Steve turned his head to look at Klein, whose face... whose face couldn't be identified thanks to the paint that was smeared on it. He suddenly laughed and said, I forgot there's a bug that I can easily deal with. Shut up, he ain't a bug. Don't worry, you'll definitely be dead before the people from the church arrive. Before he could finish the sentence, Klein suddenly raised the revolver in his right hand and shot out a purifying bullet. Steve moved his footsteps slightly, transferring several meters in turn. Along the way, he left after images behind. However, Klein's bullet didn't hit where he had aimed. Instead, it hit the middle of the clearing, piercing through the soil and creating a loud commotion. His ultimate trump card. I'm gonna call the cops. A breeze of spirituality blew past, and both Merrick's zombies and Steve's shadows stopped moving at the same time. In a split second, they charged out rapidly, charging towards the center of the clearing like a pack of hungry dogs at mealtime. Steve, who was about to use arcane methods to control Klein and easily kill him, come on, man, was stunned for a moment. Then he revealed a puzzled and surprised expression. For some baffling reason, he discovered that he couldn't command the undead he controlled. It was a first for him. Oh, the bullet. At the same time, Klein snapped his fingers, detonating a few more bombs and sending off scarlet flames that soared into the air in different locations. He's just sending off an SOS flare. His figure leaped from one bonfire to the other as he blinked towards the clearing exterior. "You want to run," Steve whispered. Just as he was about to turn incorporeal to chase after his target, he found that the zombies and shadows had dug out a square metal box and were fighting for the items inside. Soon, one of the shadows succeeded. Its body swelled and seemingly gained intelligence. It flew in another direction. So that item is used to delay my actions and allow him to successfully escape. Huh. He still doesn't understand what a wraith from the Scarlet Lunar Corona is capable of. Steve temporarily gave up on chasing Klein, putting away the biological poison bottle. His body suddenly disappeared and appeared on a thin layer of ice that formed in a puddle of water. He relied on his terrifying speed to drag out an after image and arrive behind the giant shadow. Steve's eyes flashed with a dark green light. The shadow instantly disappeared without a sound, and the item in its hand dropped. The other zombies and shadows completely disregarded the oppressive aura of the mighty existence as he rushed over to grab it. Steve was more and more alarmed and curious. He discovered that his spiritual intuition couldn't draw any revelations from the object that had caused the rotting of the zombies and shadows. He stepped forward and grabbed the object with his left hand. It was a dark gold key ring. It was a dark gold key ring. Hanging from it was an ancient and exquisite copper whistle. Besides the copper whistle hung a simple bronze key. They clung closely together as they remained in Steve's pale palm. At the same time, Steve's Scarlet Lunar Corona in his right hand was quietly emanating a crimson glow like a miniature full moon. Before thoughts even surfaced in Steve's mind, a faint but very strange sound entered his mind, ripping at his nerves and scraping his scalp. Ah! Steve let out a miserable scream and fell from midair to the ground. Scarlet Lunar Corona, which he held in his hand, and the key ring with the copper whistle and key were sent flying at the same time. He struggled and twisted on the spot, his body bulging and protruding. There were arms that were as small as babies, which grew out of his body, or a foul, light yellow liquid that sloshed inside his body. At this moment, a flame ignited again. Klein, who had escaped, leaped onto and appeared in the path of the Scarlet Lunar Corona. Hey, no, I remember, it's attracting them, right? That's what's happening? Okay, alright. Whoo! Okay, thank you for clarifying that, dude, Romero. Oh my god, this is a good fight. He didn't attempt to catch the mystical item. Instead, with a gentle flick, he diverted. Oh, I remember. He was practicing at the graveyards. Yeah, I remember how before he was practicing to see the effects. Master Key and Under the Moon effect is OP, bro. I'm gonna reread this fight off stream, man. For reals. I need to reread this. Like, it's kind of overwhelming, but this is hype. It's not that it's overwhelming. It's a lot sometimes, you know. Like, we go 0 to 100 and fights real quick. He's so smart when he fights, man. He didn't attempt to catch the mystical item. Instead, with a gentle flick, he diverted its trajectory, sending it flying towards the weakened Miss Sharon. Steve's cries of pain gradually died down, and Scarlet Lunar Corona accurately landed on Sharon. Sharon's figure instantly turned incorporeal, and the blue eyes that had lost their focus regained their luster. Clenching her right hand tightly, her hand held the palm-sized accessory inlaid with a ring of dark rubies. Her body began to float. The Scarlet Lunar Corona allowed its wielder to be imbued to the influence of the full moon. Sharon was no longer weak, and in her spirit body state, she wasn't afraid of the biological poison. At this moment, the zombies and shadows gathered together once again, fighting over the chained Master Key and the Zig's copper whistle. They're fighting over it? When a magician is paired, nothing can stop him. Klein didn't care. He raised his left arm and pointed. The sun brooch on his chest flashed a dark golden glow and disappeared, and he just takes him out. An intense, bright, and holy light fell from the sky, shrouded the ground, and zombies and shadows, they were fighting over it. In what seemed like a daylight, the transparent and bizarre shadows quickly melted and disappeared. It's that easy. You lure the zombies in with the whistle, and then you cleanse them with the new brooch. That's wild. The pale and stinking corpses emitted black smoke first before they ignited and burned like candles. By the time the light disappeared, there was also nothing left except for Zig's ancient and intact copper whistle and the master key, which were both strung on an already blackened key ring. They lay there slightly. Meanwhile, Sharon didn't care about Merrick, whose injuries were turning graver thanks to Tyr's attacks. Instead, she relied on her own ability to phase into mirror-like items to reach the thin piece of ice. Oh, she can go into the ice because of the reflection that Steve had previously used and stepped out. She stretched out her right hand towards Steve, who was transferring into a monster, and opened it wide, aiming the palm of her hand at the enemy. Endless rays of light burst out and quickly intertwined to form the mysterious pattern bronze door. Creak. With a jarring noise, the small black hat on Sharon's head was blown away. A sudden gust of wind, and her carefully combed blonde hair cascaded down in a disheveled state. It was obvious that using the mystical items again was rather taxing on her. Creak. The mysterious bronze door produced a crack, and a series of shrilling laughter, sobbing, and shouting echoed in the air. Arms either filled with teeth or completely without skin reached out wildly and grabbed at Steve, whose pustles were bursting one by one. The strange dark green vines that accentuated an infant's face and slippery illusory tentacles also bound the Sequence 5 powerhouse. Steve cried out again. The pale yellow pus which flowed out covered his entire body, allowing him to barely resist the pull. A bright red crack appeared on his face, and in it was a hole leading to a dark tunnel. Bro, this reminds me of the chick from Uzumaki. The spiral that forms. A bright red crack appeared on his face, and in it was a hole leading into a dark tunnel. At that moment, Klein raised his revolver. Oh my god. Bang! At that moment, Klein raised his revolver and aimed it at him. Without any delay or hesitation, with his face disguised, Klein calmly pulled the trigger while wearing his half-top hat. Bang, bang. With a flash of the sun brooch, two bullets so the sun brooch is enhancing the bullets, right? That's what's happening? With a flash of the sun brooch, two bullets filled with holiness accurately hit Steve in the head. Although they didn't pierce his skin or bones, what did it hit? They ignited resplendent flames, turning Steve into a bright torch. With another scream, Steve was pulled closer to the illusory bronze door. As Klein released the revolver cylinder, the shells fell to the ground, and he took out the metal box containing the Beyonder bullets. At the same time, he once again injected his spirituality into the sun brooch. 2-1. A pure and flawless pillar of light fell from the sky and instantly hit Steve's body. Shit, dude. Taking this breather, Klein... I'm gonna just take a breather. Taking this breather, Klein inserted 3 purifying bullets and 3 exorcism bullets. What a badass. Exorcism bullets into the cylinder and snapped it shut. He aimed at Steve's head again, and with the flash of the dark golden brooch, he pulled the trigger hard 6 times in a row. Bang, 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 bang. Damn, dude. Steve was once a zombie, so his skin is harder than steel. Yeah, so since he went up a sequence, he still had all the zombie characteristics, right? Okay. Woo! This is exciting. Hold up. I gotta know. Wait, pause. Did we finish the fight, or do I read one more chapter? One more? Okay, one more. You said one more? We'll read one more. Klein cartel style execution. This motherfucker 1v1 the Sequence 5. Literally, bro. Holy shit. This guy... fucking Klein makes it look easy. He actually fucking makes it look easy. Holy shit. Read more? Okay, we're gonna read one more. I'm hoping it ends on a good note, or like on a good stopping point. But let's see. Finish it, please. I know, but it's like I do need an end stream soon. But he did a shitload of fucking prep, bro. Let's go. Finally here for the first time. You're here for the first time? Thank you for joining, dude. Bro, this fight is going crazy. Never fight a magician who knows you're coming. All right, let's do one more. Let's do one more and see where we're at. Oh my god, it's so late. Let's do one more. Okay, chapter 350, Splendid Fireworks. One by one, the bullets sliced through the air, either swirling with a golden luster emanating resplendent beams as they hit Steve's head, thanks to a crown control over his body. As his persistence in practicing his marksmanship, Klein's 6 bullets, which were augmented with cleave of his purification, accurately hit the same spot. The same spot as the first 2 bullets. They were like the first... Oh, you know what? Merrick did say, like, if you hit it repeatedly, I will get hurt. They were like fists from a giant of light repeatedly pounding at the left of Steve's face. With a series of bangs, Steve, who had been entangled by the strange arms and dark green vines, fell to phase away to avoid the attacks. His head was whipped to the side repeatedly as his body trembled. His cheekbones quickly caved in, breaking out into his sharp white bones. What's up, dude? What's up, bro? What's up, Varnish? Oh, wait, I said your name wrong. What's up, Barshan? The last bullet completely tore through, splashing the Sequence 5 powerhouse dark red blood. This opening allowed the resplendent and golden flames to continuously drill in, burning into the bursts of the dark green mist. In the holy light, Steve's clothes were ignited. His body was quickly charred as he dripped with grease. However, he was still alive. Compared to the nimble right Master Razango, R.I.P., the survivability of a Sequence 5 from the mutane path was clearly much better. However, the heavily injured Steve could no longer resist the strange tugging arms. His legs moved forward uncontrollably, almost flying towards the bronze door and into the deep crack that had opened. He was thrown into the darkness where pairs of eyes lurked. At this moment, Sharon suddenly clenched her right hand, her forehead covered in sweat. The illusionary and subtle rays of light were abruptly severed, and the indescribability of the mysterious bronze door lost the source of his existence. It swayed, and before Steve entered, it reluctantly pulled back its long arms, which were either filled with teeth or blood, and sealed the creak. The door closed, quickly becoming transparent before it disappeared. Steve's leaning body was rigged in place, blackened and shriveled. Shriveled like a little raisin. Like a mummified corpse that had been burned for a long time. Oh, look at that, bro. Dude, this is hype, bro. Radom style. With her right fist tightly clenching at the scarlet lunar corona on her, Sharon's figure rapidly turned incorporeal. She took a step forward and overlapped with Steve. Klein's spirit vision instantly lost sight of her. However, the charged Steve raised his fist abruptly and smashed them against his already severely injured head. Bam! His head turned into a pulp like that of a... Did he take himself out? His head turned into a pulp like that of a rotten tomato, and milky white spots spray out before splattering to the ground. So blood and brain matter. A translucent figure was also expelled. It rapidly spread out, turning into something that looked like a giant jellyfish. Within it was a dreamlike liquid that was swishing and a pair of deathly pale eyes that were condensing. Sharon was forced out by this strange object as she reappeared beside it. She suddenly stretched out her left hand, letting out a silent shriek. The ground suddenly turned black as if it had turned into a muddy deep sea. Twisting blood vines grew out from it, splitting into many sections, with each section having 4 sharp teeth and an eye. The blood red vines widely grew upwards, immediately locking onto the jellyfish-like phantom, and is greedily sucked like the dreamlike liquid within. The phantom quickly collapsed, and the blood red vines once again retreated back into the muddy deep sea. But with this delay, the headless, charred Steve began running. Headless, and he's still running? Why did I forget Sharon possessed him again? I was like, why is he doing that to himself? Like, is he trying to power up? I keep forgetting it's Sharon. Sorry, this is a little overwhelming. It's only up from here? Bro, we gotta keep going up. But with this delay, the headless, charged Steve began running. He tore across the clearing and headed up for the way out. He still wasn't dead despite already losing his head. He's a headless chicken. Steve had only run a few steps when the suddenly crisp sound cracked in silence. Pa. Klein in a black double-breasted frock coat with a matching half-top hat turned to him and snapped his fingers. Boom. The firework. The dirt beneath Steve's feet was violently lifted and the scarlet flame soared. It spread upwards, and when it reached its highest point, it spilled down like beautiful fireworks. Steve's body was torn into pieces for such fireworks. His charred hands, feet, guts, and blood splattered everywhere. Damn, dude. One of his fingers rolled to Klein's feet, and the brown, translucent biological poison bottle fell in another direction. We can use that bottle. The mutilated body, which was the last traces of Steve's existence, squirmed a few times before finally becoming still. In the scene of the blooming fireworks, Klein felt his spirituality become more active, and the powers that still wasn't completely his had become more attuned to him. In response to the sensation, he passed the revolver to his left hand. He took off the silk-top hat from his head with his black gloved right hand, and he pressed it into his chest and bowed slightly at Sharon. Sharon Blue's eyes looked over. She looked past Klein into the carriage of the werewolf Tyr and Merrick. Where's Merrick? Is he down? He's passed out, right? You got LMBR? What is that? What is that? What is that? I don't know what that is. This is how hard it is to kill single. Even headless, he can... Dude, even a headless chicken, low memory bitrate. We have low VRAM. we're only on 10 gigs of VRAM. We need to upgrade to 16 gigs of VRAM. Wait, no, hold up. Like, unironically, I have a really bad short-term memory loss. Sometimes I step out of my room and I forget why I step out. It's kind of bad, bro. When somebody tells me something, I forget quickly. It's actually bad. Sometimes I put my keys down and I'm like, my keys are here, my keys are here. I put my phone down, my phone. I have to say it out loud so I don't forget. Sorry. Steer stood there stiffly. Wait, I skipped the line as I'm saying this. She looked past Klein to the carriage of werewolf Tyr and Merrick. Sharon's figure disappeared, and Tyr's eyes reflected her image. Tyr stood there stiffly in his black hair standing on end. He raised his arms with great difficulty and pressed them against his head. Ka-cha. He twisted hard, and his eyes soon saw his spine, which were underneath covers of his torn clothes. Pa. Tyr twisted and pulled again, pulled his head out of his torso. Throughout the entire process, he didn't let out a single scream or a single word. He held his head, letting the bloody constantly drip down. The corpse, which had lost its head, was still standing straight. Without toppling, Sharon didn't immediately leave Tyr's body. She appeared to be attempting something. Very soon, bits of dark green light emerged from Tyr's head, and body quickly condensed onto one of his fangs as its core. It seems like Miss Sharon has a way of accelerating the separation of She can accelerate it? It seems like Miss Sharon has a way of accelerating the separation of a Beyonder characteristic. The prerequisite to doing so requires her to possess the target, kill the person, and have complete control of the body. Enlightened, Klein bent down and picked up the shells that had fallen to the ground, stuffed them into the metal square box, one by one. He was afraid that investigators which would subsequently arrive would find the artisan through the uniqueness of the shells, and hence find the woman who had purchased the briber and barbarian formulas from him. Then they would look onto Eye of Wisdom's gathering, causing his safety to be threatened. Aw, look at him, dude. Okay. As for the bullets, they had long been sacrificed to the corresponding deities in the holy light of flames, just like the material and charms. Putting the revolver away, Klein was about to take a step forward when Sharon appeared beside the biological poison bottle with an exaggerated speed. She made it flow up and land on her palm. Before Klein could think of anything else, the pale woman flickered her wrist and threw him a translucent brown bottle. Oh, we get the bottle? And threw him a translucent brown bottle and a dark green fang. To save time, she's helping me pick up my spoils. Klein was startled. He instantly pulled out a piece of paper and covered the two items. He didn't come into direct contact with them. At this moment, in case he gets afflicted. At this moment, he could see that Sharon's complicated black regal dress had lost its usual tidiness and cleanliness. It fluttered gently in the wind as it flew. Strands of her light blonde hair were stuck to the side of her face, making her feel more like a person. This biological poison bottle comes with its own lid. I just wonder what negative side effects it has. Klein lowered his head and examined his spoils of war. He used the black cap hanging on the side of the reseal that the biological poison's bottle so that it wouldn't continue to do him harm. As for the dark green fang, it was the Beyonder characteristics left behind by the werewolf Tyr. As Klein placed the two items in a small metal box he prepared, and he used holy night powder to create a wall of spirituality, blocking off the influence they had on their surroundings, he watched Sharon's figure disappear from the corner of his eyes. Steve's remnant flesh squirmed and produced a nearly translucent point of light. Similarly, he was still on guard against Merrick, lest he suddenly went crazy. Oh, that's true. Amidst his vigilance, he discovered the healing powers of a zombie was truly astonishing. Oh, he's healed. Truly astonishing. The bone-deep wounds from a moment ago had now basically closed. Oh, he's good. Merrick also gave him a profound look. It was as though he had remembered something and understood something. When he was done, Klein walked a dozen steps away, picked up the square metal box that had been dug up by the zombies and shadows. Then he found the Zig's copper whistle and the master key, which were surrounded by human-shaped candles. What part was this? Human-shaped candles. Ew. He glanced at it and awkwardly realized that he didn't dare to pick them up. These effects of the Scarlet Lunar Corona were still radiating through the clearing. This was the last trap he had set up, one that would never be used unless all other means were extinguished. For this, he had taken the time to visit a hospital's morgue. And test out what the corpses would do after they had gotten their hands on the Zig's copper whistle. What? It allowed him to design a corresponding plan. Can you stop the influence of the Scarlet Lunar Corona? Klein turned to look at Sharon, who had materialized again. She already had an additional translucent doll in her hand. Without saying a word, Sharon placed the Scarlet Lunar Corona to her chest with her other hand. The circle of rubies quickly dimmed, and the light from the full moon disappeared from the abandoned land. Only then did Klein lean over and grab the key ring with his fingertip, raising up a Zig's copper whistle and the master key. Then he stored them in the square iron box with concave bullet marks and quickly created a seal. Meanwhile, Merrick circled around and dealt with the scene. Sharon pulled up a small black bonnet and her figure disappeared before reappearing in front of Klein. The Book of Secrets is in your room, Sharon. Already? Peek. Amen. Sharon said calmly, that is to say, no matter what the end result is, as long as I can make it back alive, I will be able to get a portion of the reward. I wouldn't have gone through all this trouble for nothing. Klein smiled and bowed. Thank you for your generosity. The official Beyonders will arrive anytime now. We have to leave. And they're out. Just like that. Sharon nodded and asked, do you need any help? There's no need. Klein chuckled. I still have lots of fireworks, which I haven't released. As soon as he finished the sentence, he raised his hand and snapped his fingers. Boom, boom, boom. The remaining explosives exploded one by one, sending flames up into the sky. They clustered around the largest and most eye-catching one in the center, producing a dreamy and beautiful scene. Bro, this is where Sharon falls in love with Klein, with the beautiful explosions going off, and she's like, I'm gonna be his personal bodyguard from now on, right? And then this is where the Sharon x Klein shippers come in. Yay, yay, nay. End of performance. That was a grand performance. Literally, you know the Martin Scorsese meme when he's like, absolute cinema. This is gonna be this scene is gonna go so hard in season 2. Sharon's gate. Oh, did I not just say she'd be like, wow, he's amazing? Sharon's gaze was instinctively attracted to it for a second, and when she looked back, farming aura. Klein was no longer there. He vanished like a true magician. There was only a spark that gradually dissipated. Bro, why does he have to be so sassy right here? Why does Klein have to be so damn sassy right here, bro? He's like, later. We'll talk later, dude. Like, like Sharon, like, didn't you just become a Beyonder? Like, what the fuck? Klein was no longer there. There was only spark that gradually dissipated. Away from the clearing, he took a small detour northwest, preventing him from running into an official Beyonders on the way. One match after another was lit on the road, and the flames quickly soared up and then quickly disappeared. Klein's figure constantly emerged from within them as he leaped across the flames and departed the West Ballum dock. Immediately following that, he took out a special bottle and extracted and whipped it over his face. With a gentle wipe, he used a piece of paper. He removed all the paint. Pop. Klein shook his wrist and burned the papers to ashes. Then he picked up the cane he had hidden nearby, straightened his clothes, and walked out into the street like an ordinary person. Not long after Klein arrived at the cathedral, his name was Lever Cathedral. As many devotees weren't rich, they might not be able to rest on Sundays and were usually busy during the day. Thus, the cathedrals of the various churches typically open until the early hours of the morning, giving most believers the opportunity to pray and repent. Klein looked up, tapped his steps with the black cane in his hand, and stepped inside. He intended to avoid the subsequent rounds of inspections. Oh, okay. To avoid the Beyonders, right? Beyonders looking? He intended to avoid the subsequent rounds of inspections of the surrounding people. A few minutes later, a machinery hive mind team appeared at the clearing surrounding by abandoned warehouses. There were a total of 5 of them, each armed with different kinds of Beyonder weapons. However, all of them frowned when they saw the cleaned up scene. After looking for a moment, they began putting in effort to gather clues. Lever Cathedral. Since it wasn't even 11 yet, there was quite a few people here. However, not a single person spoke. The entire prayer hall was so peaceful and holy that no one wanted to break the silence. Klein sat in the third few along the aisles. He leaned his black cane forward and took off his silk top hat. Wearing a black double-breasted frock coat, he clasped his hands against the lower jaw and closed his eyes. His expression was abnormally calm as he faced the triangular-shaped sacred emblem in front of him. Wow. Was that not a grand spectacle? He is a performer by nature? Bro. Woo, man. That was crazy. Wait, hold up. Hold up, brothers and sisters. Hold up. We need to fucking do our overall thoughts, man. Because that was fucking wild. A hell of a fight. That was a fucking amazing fight. Hold up. I'm not gonna lie, if I wasn't sleepy, I would have been like screaming right now, but I can't scream. It is kind of late. We gotta be nice to our neighbors or anybody around us. Anybody in our vicinity. Hold up. Dude, that was amazing. Sharon be like, didn't you just become beyond it like a week ago? Like, unironically, I think he glazed up Sharon. I think he glazed her up a little too much. It like, Cuttlefish specifically wrote... Whoa, wait. I saw... My bad, Mysterious. I wasn't trying to ignore you. We got to update it for next stream. I think he, like, unironically glazed Sharon a little bit right there. With that aura farming at the end. She's like, wait. Yeah, Cuttlefish even, like, specifically wrote, like, she briefly... Like, she, what was it? She looked over, right? And he disappeared. And she's like, ooh, he's so mysterious and intriguing, man. Oh, I'm sorry, Clown Man. We're gonna have to stop reading, man. It is kind of late. Miss Sharon, bro, it's like... No, I think we're gonna end it here, man. That was a high fight. Bro, this ain't a harem shit. No. I'm not saying he's not. I'm not saying he's building a harem. I'm moving on to greater. Look, okay, I'm gonna make my stance right here. I am officially moving on to the greater ship. Sharon X Klein. Sharon is her. We did it. Are you going to stream tomorrow? We'll be live early, just so I can, because I was gonna watch the Nintendo Switch direction. I am gonna go out for my friend's birthday. We're gonna go out and eat. Depending on how late I'm out. We might not stream. I'll keep you guys updated, but to be safe, I won't schedule a stream for tomorrow. But if I do go live, I assume we're just gonna be reading like the after effects of this fight. Better than Dali X Klein. You know what? I have to officially apologize on the Dali X Klein ship, because I know you guys were really against that. Sharon X Klein is fair. This ship is better. All right, I'm officially locking in my ship as of right now. Klein X Sharon. If anybody says I'm wrong, you're wrong. No, I'm sorry. That's mean. I love you guys. We are all entitled to our own opinion, but as of this point, Klein X Sharon, you can't prove me wrong. She was so rizzed. Like, bro, like, Klein was rizzing her left and right. Like, he saved her. He glazed her. Like, it was amazing. Such a blasphemous ship. No. The last one was blasphemous. This one is peak. You know the most popular ship isn't them, but I respect that. Oh, okay. We'll see. Okay, we'll see what happens. Klein X Sharon. We don't talk about that one. Let's not bring it up, because I know I've offended some people in the past. Oh, man. This was good. This is... Dude, it's like... Klein is only going up from here. Like, he is only going... Didn't you want music recommendations? I did. Let's pause this music. I just realized we're still playing this. Oh, man. That's crazy. Since we're just gonna end stream, I'm not gonna be playing other stuff. I'll just do it here, because we're still recording our overall thoughts, and we don't want this. I'm not trying to ignore you. I'm sorry. Wait. Tunnel vision. I had tunnel vision. Where were we? Wait, where were we? I got you. Let's keep talking. My bad. No, I'm not trying to ignore you, Romero. Where are we at? Where are we at? What would you say? So reread the... I know. I'm gonna reread the fight on my own time tomorrow. Yeah, I know. What are your thoughts on the prisoner pathway now that you have seen their powers in action? Prisoner. This was wasn't this the monster pathway? Not the monster, the beast path? Wait. Romero, you read right through me, Joshua. You're gonna head out, Joshua? Thank you for tuning in, man. I am 100%. You don't understand how really peak this fight is, when you reread it, you will see all the tactics used. I know. When I reread the Harbor fight on my own time, I'm like, wow, this fight is like 1,000 times better. Like reading it by myself. Prisoner is Feck's favorite pathway. You better glaze it. I don't know much. I don't remember much more on it right now. This is Prisoner, all of them. No, I thought this was like the Beast pathway. So it started off as Prisoner. Oh, it's the mutant path. Oh, okay. I was thinking mutants. I really like it. It's like, look, the Prisoner pathway is like, it's very raw and powerful. What am I on? Bruh, sequence 9 Prisoner, sequence 8 Lunatic, sequence 7 Werewolf, sequence 5 Zombie, sequence 5 Rave. No, sorry, I forgot it was Prisoner. I forgot to start off with Prisoner. I thought it was Mutant. My bad. It's Prisoner. Yeah. Goldfish memory kicking in. Bro, Dunsmith Smith memory is so bad. I have not updated my notes since chapter 150. I am like 200 chapters behind on info that I should be retaining up here. I think I read 343 where they discussed the Abraham Guy pathway notes, and Klein got the idea of using the key Under the Moon with this info. I did not remember that. Really? Done memory kicks in sometimes. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, I remember this from chapter 3, and then sometimes I'll be like, what did I just read right now? It's 50-50. Is notes even important at this point? It is, because it helps me remember stuff. Like, I remember stuff that I've written down, and stuff that I didn't write down, it's like losing me. Romero has taken notes for you. I know he's done that. Notes are so big. Notes are like, whoo, man, they are far behind. I have not updated notes since like last year. It's been a cool minute. Easy has low memory band. Wait, what? Point proven. What does LMBR stand for again? Romero doing works. He is doing God's work, man. He is doing the fool's work. I don't think I'd be able to like keep up if it wasn't for Romero, man. It's crazy. It's so funny. Watch two LOTM streamers. You are so different. He is like always on notes and lore accurate. Yeah, what do you mean? I am always on notes and lore accurate. Never have I ever been accurate. Bro hasn't opened the notes for eternity. They've been eating dust for years. They have. But you know what, bro? Who's the second streamer? I want to see how much better is he at remembering notes than me. No, I'm kidding. I'm not trying to start a war. Easy cooks better. I didn't say it. He said it. Easy cooks better. Got the energy we need. And I will always give you the energy you and everybody else needs. And this LOTM community needs. I am always going to be giving you my 100%. I may be better at recalling things, but there are specific things I remember. Easy the GOAT. You're the GOAT. Just for that, bro, you get mod. Easy Master Freak. I have no idea what you're talking about. Easy should do a LOTM quiz after Volume 2. You know what? That'd be really good. We do a LOTM quiz and we play the Jeopardy music in the background, then, or we do like a Discord quiz. That'd be funny. Oh man, that was good. That was such a good fight. I'll be honest, I did not understand a fair amount. I'm not gonna say 50%. That's too much. I did understand what was going on. I lied. I did not understand when Sharon was possessing. I was like, why is he hurting himself? Like, is this guy dumb or what? That's a good idea. Easy, take a pathway quiz. We should. Easy with the Soma cooking method. Sometimes beyond off, sometimes beyond good. That's the good part. Easy geeky. It's like watching Order and Chaos. Easy is in order, and the other guy's chaos. We are always Order and Chaos. You know, we're like 50-50. You know. Did you miss Zig's appearance during the fight? Unhinged. I'm not gonna fall for that. I thought about it for a sec. Man. Oh, that's so funny, dude. That was cool. That was such a fucking good fight. Oh my god. Like, it hypes me up for more fights. Is there a lore reason why he's hitting himself? Is he dumb? Oh, like, no, he was possessed, Beck, right? You're talking about when Sharon possessed him? Man, point is, that was a good fight. Unhinged gaslighter, but we ain't gonna fall for it. Lord of Misinfo strikes again. You know what's a good kind of like analogy? I feel like Klein is like Batman, dude. Like, the whole point is when Batman is prepared. Oh, my voice got raspy this deep into the stream. When like Batman is prepared, he can overcome almost anything. One would say he can almost come anything. When Klein is prepared, this man is like, I am dark, I am the shadows. You know the opening from the Batman movie, the newest Batman movie is like, I am justice. Literally, I am justice. That is crazy, dude. I like it. Legit, the whole sticks of the Seer pathway. I love it. I'm all for it. It's like Klein only gets stronger and smarter with every single fight. Like, there has been no fight where he's at like a bottleneck. Every time he comes across a new fight, he gains a new object or he learns something new. Unhinged, Gaslighting versus Easy Geek Stalling. Who wins? We always win. No matter what. Be it good or bad, we will always win. It's, I don't know. Lenavus will propose to Klein soon. I'd be down for that. He comes back like, wait. I actually wanted to hurt you because I love you, Klein. Klein gain experience. Dude, it's like he's always gaining experience. He's always gaining a new item. He's always gaining tactics. It's like he will never enter a fight and come out of it without some form of new knowledge. Like, he entered this fight, he just learned a book. He's gonna learn new mysticism, right? He's gonna learn all this new info that he's gonna be able to apply in his new fights. And when he fully digests the magician pathway and goes into faceless, forget about it. This guy is going to be able to disguise himself as other people during fights. He's going to be able to summon the world and have him use the charm or like all this other stuff. It is going to be crazy, dude. It's going to be so good. And then his opponents won't even be able to know which is the real him. Like, oh, maybe they both become him, right? Oh, I swear almost everyone has 300 IQ when fighting, especially I'll be honest, my IQ is not 300 when I'm reading a fight. I think my IQ drops by like 50% when I read a fight. Elotim legit got the best fights. It is a really good fight. There is something he doesn't gain more of. Money. Except for that. He gains it and he loses it. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right. You're right. There is some things he loses. Yeah, he loses money. But you know what? He gains aura and he gains Riz. And I am 100,000% for that. But you know what? I think we're going to end it there. Elotim chapters are always smart. There's good. I need to reread this just so I can like gain some intelligence here because I forgot what I read. No, I didn't forget what I read. I forgot some aspects of the fight. There's 4K rendering going on in my mind when fights come. Bro, I'm like in 1440p, dude. No, I'm in 144p, dude. It's like, I am not at 4K rendering. I am on the lowest like bitrate possible. High sequence beyonders are the cream on the top. I don't know. It's like I can't fathom how fights are gonna be when we reach sequence 0. It's gonna be on like such a grand, like biblical, like mystical scale, and like I won't even be able to comprehend what the heck I'm reading. Definitely got LMBR. The high sequence is playing 5D chess while we mortals will play 2D chess and still falling behind. It's like, bro, I don't even know how to play chess. You know what? I'm gonna learn chess just so I can prepare for these future fights and be like, he's gonna pull the rookie move. Like, he is gonna move his queen. Like, he's setting up his queen for disaster. No, all right, we'll leave it there. We're gonna leave it there. I feel like if I keep streaming, I'm gonna be rambling, and we gotta end stream. We gotta go to bed. We gotta be up and early for the Switch reveal. Oh yeah, we'll get them sequence 0 fights, bro. The rook. So many things happening at once. A lot happened at once. You know what? Like was throwing me off. I did not understand. I didn't realize when Sharon was possessing them, and the other part that threw me off was how. I missed the part when the Master Key was revealed during the fight. Learn the Fool's Mate. This is the best technique in chess is to provoke your opponent to punching you so you win by forfeit. Yeah, it's a good fight. You win by forfeit. I like that one. Alright, guys, though. I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to reread this fight on my own time in the next few hours. And I'll see you guys very soon. Okay, guys? Peace! It's going to take a little bit while to upload this video, by the way. Since our stream crashed a few times. But alright, guys. Peace! Have a beautiful day. All right, later, guys. Good night, everyone. Good night. All right, we're going to end stream. Technically, I have to manually end stream now from what I remember. Because my OBS crashed. Read the lore channel? I know, there's a lot to read. I know. Right now, my time off stream has kind of been limited. Yeah, usually because I have to spend time with, like, Easy Geeky or spend time with Ellie. And, you know, it's been kind of hard, like, fitting everything together. So at least that's why, like, wait, hold up. Before I end stream for the 27 you guys are here, to reread the reason I haven't been that like, just so you guys know my schedule. The reason I haven't been I know I've said in the past, the reason I haven't been that active, like, when I'm not streaming is because I just, time-wise, I wake up, I work out, I get ready for work, I get back, I eat in 5 minutes, and I go live. And by the time I end stream, I have about 2 to 3 hours of free time. And those 2 to 3 hours of free time I have to spend either with my girlfriend and my dog. Actually, no. All of it together. I spend all that time together with them. And the little socializing with my other friends. I appreciate the grind. I don't thank you guys. But yeah, that like, so if it comes off that I'm ignoring you guys, I'm really not trying to ignore you guys or all that. Like, it's been kind of hard mixing all that. Cuttlefish gotta have big ass charts with all the ability. Bro, you know that one fucking meme of the guy, he's going crazy with a huge billboard and all the red dots plotting? Your camera died again? You almost got me, bro. I looked up. You know, like the huge billboard with all the red dots? I feel like that's Cuttlefish, man. I feel like that's in his like Lord of Mysteries lair. But yeah, it doesn't come off like I'm trying to ignore you guys or like I'm purposely ignoring you. It's just a time thing. I get off social media when I grind too. Yeah, it's like once I'm done streaming, it's like I turn off everything and I spend time like with my close ones and my loved ones and like everybody in like my family. That way also doesn't seem like I'm neglecting them, right? Because like I'm working and then I go live right away. Sometimes I get a little mad, but nah, that's my whiteboard filled with lore. Thank you guys though. All right, guys, we're gonna end stream. Sexy lore. Yeah, I got bricked up. I get bricked up when I read good lore. All right. Oh, you know what? Before I end stream, somebody made a really good comment that I should make I should upload like highlights of specific fights, not just shorts but highlights. And I'm like, that's a good idea. So I think over the weekend I'm not gonna stream over the weekend, but I'm gonna go through all my old videos because I still haven't recorded. I'm gonna see if there's any good points and then just re-upload those parts, right? Like all the fights, all the lore segments, all the theory crafting segments that I've come up with, like all that stuff. Now I can split it and then eventually turn them into shows. Oh yeah, highlights. Yeah, so I'm probably gonna make a separate playlist and just call it like Lord of the Mysteries reaction highlights. I think that was me. That was not you. No. He typed way too much. That was not you. No, you do not type as much as him. Yeah, certain fights have fights. Yeah. So I'll probably do that. Chapters? Yeah, certain chapter. Yeah, like all the chapter fights. Upload that. Anytime I was theory crafting or whatever, or like any funny moments or like sad moments, all that. Can't look in wiki once done. But all right, guys, I'm gonna let you go though. I'm gonna be live. 8 hours? 8 or so hours from now. I'm gonna go live. I'm gonna sleep and wake up and go live for the Nintendo Direct. I need to change and get ready before I go out. But I should be able to stream the Nintendo Direct if all things go according to plan. But all right, guys, peace. So if you guys want to tune in, hang out, that'd be chill. But until then, later, guys. Remember, there's no planned Lord of Mystery stream for the usual time. Yeah, I won't be there for that stream. No, it's okay. Yeah, you do you, man. Always put life first, guys. And don't forget to post video game music for Easy in Discord. Yeah, post any video game music. I probably won't play it during the Nintendo Direct. I'll probably play some before or after. But yeah, any video game music recommendation that you think will fit this, be it slow moment or hype moments, post it. How many chapters next stream? I'm not sure. I'm shooting for 5 chapters next stream. Yeah, I can't, since I'm not officially reading Lord of Mysteries Wednesday. On Thursday we can listen to more of that. But I'm gonna leave you guys, okay? Have a beautiful day or night. Alright, later, guys. Where's the end button? Imagine, like, alright, later, guys. And I just leave stream on. You guys fucking see me sleeping here. Remember, I listened to Honkai Star Rail. Dude, wait, hold up. Honkai Star Rail has some really damn good music, bro. Mysterious. Whoa, you play Honkai Star Rail? Fuck, I'm gonna go stream for like 5 more minutes. Bro, you know what part was... I haven't played since like the first month the game came out. But I pulled Well. Bro, such a fucking good busted character. He is such a fucking good character. I love his character, bro. Well, he's such a fucking... Or Welch? No, Well. But point is, sleeping stream went. Fucking just sleep on stream. Isn't Honkai power system based on LOTM? Oh, wow. I've never... Well, it was my first and favorite male character. Well was my first... Yeah, honestly. Yeah. Out of all the characters on Honkai Star Rail, Well is honestly my fucking favorite character. Usually it's always like a female character is my favorite, but Well, he's my favorite in that gacha game. That game has really good music that I'm also looking to and see if I can Save it. All right, now I'm ending stream. You forgot to update? I did update it. Nah, it's updated. Nah, you ain't gonna catch you slipping up right there, bro. All right, guys. Peace. I'll see you soon. Later, guys.